Good, what's going on YouTube, Facebook, and all those other places? It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. Now, before we start making anything, we better find out if the sound is working properly and, doing our mic check, 1 2 1 2, all of that good stuff. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Remember the fat boys? Fat boys are back. Now, we got about 2 or 3 minutes before we get started, so let's do some check-ins. All right, so, okay, there you go, Dallas. What's happening all the way in Thailand? There we go. Arizona's in the house. Okay, good stuff, man. Arizona, I got to get back out there. But it sure was hot, y'all. I ain't gonna even lie. And I ain't talking about hot in the way it's like, yo, man, that chick right there is hot. I'm talking about literally hot. Man, that's devil hot, man. That's hell hot right there. I was like, what? And in a second, I was thinking I might see Diablos walk by. That's how hot it was in Arizona. But it's beautiful. Literally looks like something straight out of the Road Runner, where, you see the cactus and the stuff. That background, they must have taken it right from Arizona. It's beautiful, man. Beautiful place. Somebody said, yeah, see, there you go. She said it is 17 degrees out there in Arizona. Man, how would you survive without air conditioning? That's what now, if that'll make you want to rob something, yeah, if you're going to loot an air condition, when it's 117 degrees out. Now, Facebook, I'm assuming over here, y'all can hear me as well. So let's go ahead and get ready to get started by, first of all, welcoming everyone to the show. I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July. Hopefully all your appendages are still attached. You didn't blow a finger off or nothing like that. Here in Youngstown, everybody used the 4th of July as an excuse to start shooting all over the place. And I ain't gonna even lie, y'all. I might have popped a couple off into the ground. Bang, 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 bang. See? So, yes, it wasn't very seemly of me, but it was greater. It was greater than me. Now, people asked about Teddy, old man Teddy. Old man Teddy's, he's steady, right? But I managed to bring my brother in today to keep an eye on him while I do my show. This way we ain't got to worry about the interruptions. Then, afterwards, I'm going to keep old man Teddy up for like 24 hours so he'll sleep for like 24 hours. See, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be like, what are you doing? No sleeping. Get up. Yeah, so he's doing okay. Now, hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other platforms. Feel free to participate in the super chat, or if you want to directly support the channel, you can always do that through my Cash App and my PayPal, which all the links are below. Don't forget to please subscribe to my alternative channel, just in case things get tricky on this channel. I'm very close, y'all, to being out of the doghouse. Yeah, I'm getting my record expunged in a couple days from now. So I got to lay low. I can't go too hard in the paint. One more strike and I'm done. So I got to lay low. But you can help me out by subscribing to my other channel. Where's Gizmo? Yeah, Gizmo steals the show. Gizmo's downstairs, I think, running around. Hopefully he's safe. You never know with Gizmo. He's always into some shenanigans. So, yeah, he's downstairs. Now, let's go ahead because we got some stuff to talk about tonight, man. That's right. The Trump train is on the move, but so is the funk train. The funk train. And I'm talking about the loony crazy left, y'all. They're out of control, man. They are out of control. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get busy, y'all. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. That's right, y'all. Gorillas in here. Now, guys, I ran across one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It's hilarious. The left, for whatever reason, have been emboldened to think that they can just do whatever to people who they disagree with. Now, I wonder where they got this behavior from. Wonder where they got this idea from. See, could it be that the media and politicians, especially left-wing politicians, are encouraging them to feel like when they see something that they don't like, they disagree with, they can just go ahead and do whatever. We saw it several years ago when Trump first got elected. You'll be sitting around with a MAGA hat on. Somebody snatched the hat. Give me my hat back. Nah, you racist, you white national. Throw the hat, stomp on it. We all saw the two teenagers sitting in the restaurant. And this grown man destroys his own job by going over there. Kids had a MAGA hat on. Knocked the hat off the head. Threw a shake on the kid. Tough guy. Real tough guy. We saw the women grab this little boy's hat, and the mother's like, give me the hat back. No, because you're a racist, you're white nationalist. They have been trained to think that there is a group of people in America that is so evil and so filled with white nationalism and racism that they have an obligation to abuse them. The law no longer applies and covers folks that are conservative, okay? Even if you ain't conservative, they don't even ask questions. If they sniff a little bit of too much patriotism, if they think for a second you might be supporting the flag or you might be a conservative, they will do stupid stuff. And they win stupid prizes like this senator, y'all. Y'all ready for this? Now, this man saw a car, and I think it had maybe, I don't know if it's an NRA sticker or some gun sticker on the truck or on vehicle, but he decides that he can key this man's car. Okay, surely if this man got something supporting guns on his car, then he's one of those crazy. He's one of those gun-toting crazy folks. So let's see this weasel try to weasel off the hook, man. It's hilarious. Oh, yeah. And this is a senator, guys. Hilarious. Let's check it out. Okay. Time for an episode of Liberals. Liberals do the dumbest things, okay? They do. They don't even think it through. So here we go.
I just need you to step off the truck for me, all right? Sure.
Uh-oh.
You mind shutting it off? I'll explain to you when you get out here, okay? All right, listen. I have to detain you for right now. All right? I'm investigating a crime, okay?
Okay.
All right.
If it's a maniac who yelled at me in the car.
Now, why does this guy look like Alf? Why does he look like Alf right now? Hey, Willie! Huh! No way, Willie! He looks like Alf. Built like him. Got the Alf nose, the Alf face. He probably could have played Alf. Somebody said no sound. Can you hear me? The eagle eyes? Sound is good. Oh, yeah, you said sound is good. My fault. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So, yeah. So this guy right here looks like Alf. I think he might have played Alf with no costume, So let's go ahead and see how Alf explains his way out of this one.
They weren't in the car next to you. There's no one in the car.
Yeah.
There was no one in the car.
He was blocking my way,
Oh,
saying I scratched his car. I didn't scratch his car. I'm a state senator. I think he recognized me.
Ooh.
I think he's one of the gun nuts.
Now you hear this? That's his justification. You see him try to drop the I'm a state senator. I think he recognized me. I don't recognize you except from Alf. That is the only way I recognize you. So here's Alf talking about I'm a state senator. I thought he recognized me. I thought he was one of those gun nuts. Now you see, this right here shows that if you give these people the right type of power, do you think they won't abuse it? That man decided, since I guess this man had a sticker on his car or whatever that might have looked a little too supportive of guns or whatever, he thought he was a gun nut. What exactly is a gun nut? Anybody who owns a gun? I mean, what if I got a shirt that says, come and take it? Am I a gun nut? Just because I support and believe in the Second Amendment, that makes folks a gun nut. So he decides to go ahead and go to work keying this man's car. So let's hear him explain why he did this to the gun nut.
He called out my name. I never called him my name.
All right. So, he didn't say any of that.
Okay? No, you hear the cops?
He definitely didn't recognize you. I know he didn't say that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, all right. His car was keyed. It was freshly keyed.
Yeah.
All right. And that's what we're investigating right now.
Okay.
And seeing, he pretty much heard it and saw you.
Yeah.
And you got keys in your hand as well.
I think I just came out of my car.
Well, that would make sense,
Yeah.
but the way that he explained it
Yeah.
seemed much a little bit more in depth than that. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You see Alf? Now that man right there is talking about something. I felt threatened. I got out my car. He was talking stuff. So this man is about to explain. Now listen to the logic. He's obviously guilty. He obviously got caught, and he's going to try to belittle these cops' intelligence. And it's funny because they start asking him key questions. And Alf here, he's responding, but he's not realizing that as a liberal making these excuses, all you're doing is sounding dumb and guilty. Okay. Oh, but don't forget though, he's a senator. He's a senator, see? So let's see how Alf the senator tries to continue bullcrapping these cops.
Right? He can hear it like fresh. He can hear the scratching, and he approached you and asked you. You kind of just
and I
walked
said
away.
no, because he called out my name.
He called out his
He
name.
didn't say he called out your name, but
He called out my name, and I was worried that he was one of the gun nuts who stalked me at the state house.
Oh, there you go. So now you're a narcissist. First of all, he called out my name, and I was worried he's one of them gun nuts who stalks me at the office. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. So, yeah, a gun nut. That's how he views people who, I guess, support the Second Amendment. So this guy who I've never, ever seen. I watch a lot of politics. I watch them up on the Capitol debating and stuff. I've never heard him. I've never seen him, but yet he's a senator somewhere. So here he goes with his pitch. Like, don't forget, I'm a senator. And I thought he was a gun nut. Now, if these police got any integrity, they support the Second Amendment, okay? And I'm sure there are a lot of officers out there who are liberal and have bought into the Democrats' garbage, and they're willing to let stuff like this go because they think these people deserve it. But the majority are going, these Democrats are crazy, and I'm okay with law-abiding citizens owning weapons. Most police officers support the Second Amendment, but here he is, don't even realize who he's talking to. He's up here dropping statements like gun nuts. What is that? See, they label us and assume that anybody who has a gun or believes in the Second Amendment is a gun radical. They're a gun nut. We're out there just walking around with the guns over our shoulders. Yeah, just in case. But here he is. Now he's going to go ahead and continue sticking his foot all the way down his throat.
Kept walking.
well, yeah, I don't think he was that.
I don't
seemed
think
a
he
little
was
young,
that.
you know what I mean? But that's neither here
Yeah.
nor there. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Just for right now, just hang out a little bit. All right. I
Yeah.
have a supervisor
Stay right there, Alf.
coming out here,
Don't go nowhere.
okay?
I was scared, so I kept walking.
What?
All right.
Yeah. And I went over to Starbucks, had a drink, calmed down.
That's what everybody does when they're scared, y'all. I was scared, so I went over to Starbucks and had a drink and calmed down. Don't y'all do that when your life feel threatened? That's the first thing you think of. Oh, well, instead of calling the cops or either running, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go right over there to Starbucks, have a drink just to calm down, while the scary gun nut stays right outside waiting on me. That's what most people do. Now, these cops are looking at him like, my Uncle Ron. So, you say you went to have a cup of coffee, huh? Uh-huh. Yeah, always picking something in the teeth. That's that look like you're feeding me bullcrap. Uh-huh. Okay, I hear you. So let's finish hearing him. And yes, I'm channeling my Uncle Ron right now because this story is sounding like bullcrap.
I don't think you saw me walk in. And then I walked over to Whole Foods to get what I needed to get.
Whole Foods.
I think
You walked all the way to Whole Foods?
Yeah, 'cause
To
I
the
was
Whole
afraid-
Foods. Is this the behavior of a scared man right there? He's obviously a soy boy. Whole Foods, what is he doing? It ain't working, obviously. You're still built like Alf. But yeah, he went over to the Whole Food, store and all that stuff, just hanging out, waiting for the gun nut to, I guess, harass him.
Come back to my car and he was still here.
Why didn't you call us?
Oh,
Good question, I should have.
good question. I should have. Liberals say the darndest things, especially when you feel privileged to abuse folks. That's right. I'm a liberal. I can do that to you because, see, you're a white nationalist, fascist, xenophobe, homophobe, and all the other phobes. So we're allowed to do these things. Now, this is the most dangerous mentality that you can breed in a culture. This right here is divide and conquer, but it's dangerous because what you do, you create a bunch of radicals who think the law does not apply to them or it doesn't protect the folks who they've spent years demonizing. And the left has unleashed a lot of these folks on the public to tear up stuff, and they make excuses for them. They justify it. If a person defends themselves or their house or their family, they somehow end up, in court trying to defend themselves from this garbage. all of that. So now you get this guy, he got the double privilege. He's going, now, first of all, I'm a senator. Secondly, I'm ALF. Okay. And thirdly, I'm a liberal. We're allowed to do this to these gun nuts. So now he done went over to the Whole Food place. He done went and got him some coffee and calmed down and all of that stuff. So now let's see if these officers now believes him.
Sir, it's what's your last name again, sir? Miller. Mr. Miller, sir. So this is what's going on right now, okay? We have the victim that's gonna come down.
Yeah.
He's just gonna identify that you were the gentleman that he spoke to about King's car, okay?
Yeah.
There's no charges yet. We're still investigating it, okay? We still have some.
There are cameras. Almost down each and every road.
Cameras?
Obviously, we have to do our due diligence to make sure. So, we're just gonna detain you for a little longer until he comes down here.
Ooh. Now, why don't liberals understand that we're not living in 1975? We ain't got the old VHS. It ain't gonna be like some dang on NWA. Walked in, said this is a robbery, didn't need the money, it's just a hobby. You know, and go back, grab the video, audio tape out or whatever, and tear it up. Nobody knows. We're living in a digital age where it's very difficult to commit a crime and no camera catches you anywhere. Okay. I've seen people on these shows get caught in the most unlikely ways. They're like, what? There was a drone in the sky? Wait a minute. Somebody was flying a kite with a camera on it and caught me? All kind of stupid stuff. And this guy keys somebody's car out there, and it looks like a lot of restaurants and places like that. And he's talking about, I didn't do it. He threatened me and stuff. I went to get some snacks and drinks and then went to the Whole Food place. And now they done went out there. Now, right now, he should be walking it back. When they said, all right, we got a camera. We're going to go and check the cameras. He should have walked it back.
He's coming from Providence, so he should be here.
So Colonel Winquist knows that
Oh, Colonel. He's name
I was
dropping.
stalked by these guys.
Okay.
Because I'm the sponsor of assault weapons.
Yeah. I'm assault weapons. I fight against assault weapons. And the Colonel, he knows that I be threatened and stuff like that. So what? So basically, this guy is one of those people who want to get rid of guns. And don't let Democrats ever tell you that they just want to get assault rifles, because it goes from assault rifles to assault weapons, which covers pretty much all weapons. So if you get caught up on getting the Bugs Bunny mind trick played on you and thinking, oh, well, he's just talking about the AR-15 and those long guns that people use with all that ammo. They're not. That is the gateway. That's all it is. So here he is now name dropping, hoping the Colonel will bail him out.
They actually controlled my house.
Do you recognize this gentleman that
I thought he called my name.
I thought he called my name. Say my name. Say my
He
name.
said, hey, Miller.
Hey, Miller.
Because I was concerned he was one of these guys. Right? That stalked me.
Stalked.
I kept walking the road.
Okay. No, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I have no problem with what you did. Like after.
Now, do you think the cops are buying it right now? Do you think they're sitting back going, yeah, that sounds pretty rational and logical. Hey, Miller, what are you going to do? What does that even mean? This man is going to stick to that. Hey, Miller, what are you going to do? What does that mean? If somebody heard somebody say, hey, kid, what are you going to do? I'd be like, I don't know. What do you mean? That would be my first question. I wouldn't be thinking they're stalking me and they're about to attack me. I would be going, what do you mean? Hey, Kev, what are you going to do? Are you asking, am I going to get some snacks? You want to play some volleyball, some basketball? What do you want to do? Some spades? But this guy says the guy asked him, hey, Miller, what are you going to do? And his response was, key your car. That's what I'm going to do.
After that also. Just so we can, again, do our due diligence.
Because some of these guys are armed.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are
Yep. I trust me. I completely understand your concern. So we obviously have a job to do. We're just doing our
Arrest
due
them.
diligence.
Arrest them.
Just so we can, like I said, so we can thoroughly investigate. Is it possible just to see your keys so we can rule out possibly if there's any paint transfer in your keys at all?
Yeah.
All right, the gentleman that you just drove by,
Oh,
was that
here's the
him?
guy. Here's the guy.
Oh, 100%. Except he didn't have the jacket on now. He just had a. Did you see the shirt that he was wearing? I know you're legally colorblind. That's why I was like, I would have you.
Did he look like Alf?
his face.
Yeah.
So I know you can't see the colors, but as long as you can see the face and you can.
You want me to come out?
No. I rather.
I think right there, the guy thought he said, hey, Miller, but he really said, hey, Willie. So he probably mistaked him for Alf and was like, there's Alf. Man, I haven't seen him in years. Hey, Willie. He said, hey, Miller. No. Hey, Willie. So now let's see if he remembers and is able to describe Alf.
Rather not have you guys
Come together. I know it's definitely him. I know he wasn't wearing like a blue shirt or like a dark shirt. It kind of been tannish, but I
may take off the razor because I definitely have one on.
So
but
definitely was him.
definitely him.
It was Alf.
That's his
Okay,
face,
good.
100%.
All right, and you're sure that you don't recognize him from anywhere?
I've never
at
seen
all?
him in my life. I didn't even know this guy existed. So
Nobody has.
To be honest.
Do you follow politics at all in the state or anything like that? You're not into
I don't even know any of the senators, to be honest. I only know the mayor.
You only know the mayor?
Pretty much. I'm not a big.
Yeah.
So.
All right. No, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm not,
You're
And
good.
are you sure that the scratch wasn't there before you?
I'm 100% sure that scratch is not there.
Okay.
100% sure?
I know that scratch wasn't there.
We're gonna let you go.
Now we back to Alf. All right, now we done heard the testimony from the guy who's accusing Alf of keying his car. So now we're back to Alf, and let's see what the cops do.
At this point, it's still under investigation. Like I said, we're waiting to review the security footage. We should have access to that tomorrow.
All
My
right.
cell's on here.
Here's
Your
the
cell's
cell
on there as well?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Winkus knows that I have this reaction, right? Because it's happened to me a couple of times.
Okay.
Okay, so somebody knows he has this reaction because it happens to him a couple of times. What are you talking about? What reaction? If you're that unstable as a senator, where your reaction, whatever it may be, is to assume that a person who might appear to support the Second Amendment, my reaction is to do something that might provoke them. Now, does that make any sense? This guy's a senator. Now, I don't know if this ever is going to go viral or whatever. Blaze TV released it. However, do you see how dumb this sounds? This is a U.S. senator, and he's talking about, this has happened to me before plenty of times. That's my reaction. What reaction? That's what I want to know. And what has happened to you? Because obviously you're not a tough guy. You don't believe in carrying guns. So you don't have a weapon. And if somebody's stalking you, you seem like you would be easy prey. You seem like a gentle woodland creature out in the middle of a meadow with all types of mountain lions around you. That's what you look like. You don't look like you could defend yourself. And you're talking about, that's my reaction. Because many times people have tried to. It don't look like they'd have to try too hard. So his reaction, I'm assuming, if that is the case that people have stalked him, is to key their car. Yeah, that'll calm things down. Unbelievable this guy's trying to pull this, man. They should kick him completely 100% out of the Senate.
That's fine. Yep. So we're not taking any action right now. We're just, we have our.
Let him know
Yes,
that
we
it
will.
was me.
Let him know.
That's-
Let him know it's
that was
me.
my reaction.
Okay.
That was my
Alright.
reaction.
Yeah.
Sir, you have a good
Yeah.
rest of your day,
Thank you.
okay?
Appreciate your help.
No problem.
Uh-oh.
How are you?
Here's his house.
Good. You got a minute?
Yeah.
Keen to talk to you about an incident tonight.
Oh. Yeah, now we coming to a climax. Yeah, how are you? Come here for a minute. Let me talk to you. This is what you don't want right here. It's me. Come here. Let me talk to you for a minute. So now here's the cops after seeing the video footage, y'all. Here we go.
Occurred in Garden City.
Yeah.
So we have a complainant who wants to pursue charges against
Charges.
you. So we've got to do our due diligence. They spoke with you earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go back to Garden City.
Yeah.
We've got the video of you walking through Garden City, putting your coat over your shoulder, going to Whole Foods, buying your lettuce, putting it in the bag,
I
coming
was
back.
afraid to come back to the car because he said, "Hey, Miller."
Yeah.
Boy, Alpha's hanging on to that raggedy story. I was afraid to come back to the car because he said, "Hey, Miller." Now, this is a Boston sounding cop. He's like, yeah, I saw you go over to the Whole Food place. You came back to the car. And so he's not buying this. And watch how he slightly cross-examines Alf. And Alf is going to say the dumbest things ever.
So we got you over here. So you tell us how you want to handle this. You keyed his car.
Yeah.
Car.
And we can either make a big deal out of this or a little deal. So,
Okay.
What
Whatever
you want to do?
recommend.
well, I want to know what you recommend. I mean, I don't want to be accused of covering up something for a
Sure.
senator.
Neither do I.
So I think it's
We don't
best
want
that we
that.
all be upfront with each other and do the right thing here.
Yeah, I want to because it's before he even got right. He was saying, "Hey, Miller, what are you going to do?" Right?
Yeah, so I'm going to be right
right
upfront with you.
Yeah.
He saw your sticker on your truck.
Yeah.
And he ran it and he saw your picture and he said, "That's the guy that just keyed my car."
Yeah.
Oh.
So he was upset. And
Yeah.
I don't know, do you know the guy? Why would you key his
That's
car?
why. I did. Listen, he was threatening
There's a
me
video.
already.
There's
Okay.
Alf is up against the ropes. Right now, he's like, beat me up. I got to get out of here, Willie. So here he is right here. The guy is a no-nonsense cop. Why would you key his car? I saw the video. Yeah, you keyed the car. Yeah, right. Yeah. He was that he had said, "Hey Miller, what are you gonna do?" And so let's see Miller's reaction to somebody asking him allegedly, "Hey Miller, what are you gonna do?" Because the cop's not even buying that. Apparently, Miller here doesn't realize that usually cops are pretty smart. I mean, if you look at the video, you can tell kind of who was the agitator, who was provoking who, and all of that. But he ain't letting it go. Alpha's going down fighting, man.
Video.
Okay, he was threatening already. Whatever you want me to do to make it, easiest for you guys.
He's coming to the tap out.
So we're gonna probably go back and get an arrest warrant, right?
Yeah.
But rather than do that, you can either come to the police station. We can charge you there.
Yeah.
This guy wants to pursue charges. He's upset that his car's all keyed. We were gonna do a search warrant, take your keys and stuff like that. But I think you're gonna cooperate.
Yeah.
Why did you key? Do you know that? Did he threaten you?
He was already threatening.
Okay.
Oh, you hear that? You hear that? Why did you key it, huh? I mean, was he threatening? Yeah. He was already threatening me. Okay. Now, guys, I'm not sure how you think as just a common sense person, but if you're being threatened, most likely you would probably go somewhere or away from the threat to avoid the threat. Okay. Unless you could not avoid the threat. So if this guy is even remotely telling the truth, which he's not, but even if somebody said, "Hey Miller, what are you gonna do? How about you get in your little teeny incy penny yellow polka dot bikini car with your tofu or whole food or whatever and beat it." That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. But Bad Body here, Bad Body Alf lookalike decided, you know what I'm gonna do? When I'm threatened, I'm gonna go ahead and increase the threat by keying somebody's car. Now, you know these cops are not buying it, neither am I, and it goes to show that these are the folks that have been voted in somehow, maybe placed in, we don't know, but are running certain areas of our country. This dude is a criminal. He just violated somebody else's property as a senator because he thought he had the right to do it because this guy apparently supports the Second Amendment. Therefore, he might be a gun nut, which could mean every one of us that own guns in this dude's head are gun nuts. See how that works? You think it's just limited to that guy's car? This dude probably thinks that every dude who has anything to do with the Second Amendment or legally owning a gun is a gun nut. Now he looks like the nut right here.
Yeah. All right. So what did he? So you want to give a statement? What did he threaten? How did he threaten you?
How did he
Because
threaten?
we can't hear what's said. We can only see.
As soon as I opened my door,
Yep.
he started saying, "Hey Miller, what are you gonna do?" Right?
Yeah.
He already started on me as soon as I opened my door.
Right. And then which guy was that? Because there was two guys.
Yeah. I don't know which guy.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, well. See, Miller's nice, fuzzy, and hazy on the which guy? Man, I forgot it. There was two guys. Okay, I don't know which guys. So now the cop is nice. He's doing it in a way where Miller don't think that he's being threatened. He's like, just ask him. Don't relax. But I'm really making a fool out of you and making sure you confess to doing something stupid.
So did he bang your car with the door or something before that, or why would he key?
As soon as I came out of the car.
You just got mad and keyed his car.
Because he was already screaming at me.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You hear that cop? You know that cop right now wants the Uncle Ron toothpick and food. Did he key your car? Did he hit your car? No. Yeah, he just got out and started yelling at me. So I keyed his car. Now, y'all ready for the dismount? You ready for Alf to tell you why he did it?
All right. And it would probably be, it's up to you. You could write a statement saying he threatened, whatever the case was.
Yeah.
And then, I keyed it out of what? I don't know, anger. Yeah. I don't know what your issue was.
Yelling at me.
Did he threaten?
Yeah, because he was yelling at me. Yeah, that's what you do normally when people yelling at you. Say, you know what? You stay right there. Ching-a-ling-a-ling. Take that. That'll shut your mouth. It's crazy. That'll get you knocked out. Now, you're telling me Bad Body Alf lookalike right there was looking at the guy, apparently, and this guy was yelling at him, and Bad Body Alf built right here decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm tough enough to key this man's car right in front of him because he's up here saying whatever. What you going to do? Now, do you think this guy is that kind of guy? This is a sneaky weasel. That's what he is. He's one of them guys who's like looking around, and was like, this guy right here is probably an a-hole, and keyed it. Because if the guy was standing right there And if he was confronting him, that dude would have ran with his tail between his legs. But now he's sitting up here like,
Threaten you at all, or?
I thought he was threatening
I
me
thought he
based on, just my history with guys like that.
Yeah. What do you mean, like guys like that?
yeah, what do you mean, guys
I
like
thought
that?
he was one of the gun nuts that.
There it is. I thought he was. I thought he was threatening me just because of my history with guys like that. What do you mean, guys like that? Gun nuts. That's how he refers to people that support the Second Amendment. Gun nuts. And that man is supposed to be making wise choices. He's supposed to be, supporting the Constitution and all of that stuff. That guy cares nothing about that. Most of these Democrat politicians care nothing about the Constitution or our right to bear arms. This guy's response is, I thought he was a gun nut. Okay.
Stalked me before. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you recognize him, or?
No, I thought he was.
Okay.
I just thought he was.
All right. Why don't we do this here? Because it's a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
I think the guy just wants his restitution to get his car fixed.
Sure.
I mean, it's.
Now imagine if we went around reacting like that. Imagine if conservatives went around doing the stuff that these folks do. First of all, most of them are not tough. Most of them are soft core. They just think that they're able to get away with this stuff because they're liberals. And they've been getting away with it for the last 8 years almost. So they're not tough. If we was to go ahead and flip that, if we recognize a rainbow sticker on something or, some liberal statement on the car, these dudes riding around with their Prius, if we were to react like them, you think he's going to get out the car and, I'm sorry, I thought you was, we would probably key the car and stand right there. Be like, yeah, get out the car. Yeah, let's talk it over. But these guys are weasels. They do things like Antifa does, hit you with their mask and run away, try to sneak you. They don't want real confrontation. They're deceptive and they're privileged and they think I can do this because the media has told me, Democrats has told me, pretty much the Justice Department has allowed me to do all of this stuff. There's no consequences. Now he's faced with some consequences, and these cops right there is not having it. He's like, what do you mean was threatening you? So what? You keyed his car? That's your response? You keyed the car? Whoa. Get back to him, tell him why he did it.
Yeah. All right. So what did he? So do you want to give a statement? What did he threaten? How did he threaten you? Because we can't hear what's said. We can only see.
Yeah.
As soon as I opened my door, he started saying, "Hey Miller, what are you going to do?" Right?
Yeah.
He already started on me as soon as I opened my door.
Right. And then which guy was that? Because there was two guys.
Yeah. I don't know which guy.
Don't know.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did he bang your car with the door or something before that, or why would
No,
he
as
key?
soon as I came out of the car,
You just got mad and keyed his car.
This guy man
he
did
was
it.
already screaming at me.
He's already screaming at me.
All right, and it would probably be. It's up to you. You could write a statement saying he threatened. Whatever the case was.
Yeah.
And then I keyed it out of what? I don't know, anger. I don't know what your issue was.
Yelling at me.
Did he threaten you at all, or?
I thought he was threatening me based on just my history with
Lock
guys.
him up.
Yeah. What do you mean, like guys like that? Was he the?
I thought he was one of the gun nuts that stalked me before. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you recognize him, or?
No, I thought he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we do this here? Because it's a misdemeanor.
Lock him up.
Yeah.
I think the guy just wants his restitution to get his car fixed.
Sure.
I
Listen
mean,
to
it's
this.
keyed pretty bad. I got to
Key pretty bad.
Yeah.
What is
So you telling me I'll put some time into that key? You see, that one I'm just going to lightly this man went hard in the paint, literally. That man went in like, yeah, you nasty, dirty conservative. And thought he could get away with this crap.
do with your keys, or?
Well, I took my keys out when he started yelling at me.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. See, he used keys for a weapon. You understand that? Instead of whipping out a gun, as this guy was yelling at him, he whips out his keys. You better back off, man. You know what I do with these keys? Now, back off, man. So that's what he did. He whipped out his keys. That right there should have made everybody run in fear.
Because that's, I mean, you got to, there's a lot, I mean, you can see you're between the cars, and I mean, it's obvious that I don't know. I mean, it's your.
Oh, you know.
We'll deal with it at the police station.
Oh, I felt threatened. So this man was between the cars. Now, he's not even smart enough to recognize they done saw the camera. They saw the footage. You know body language. If somebody's threatening you, that means that guy would have been out the car all in this guy's grill. But this guy is... Now we're back. YouTube chimed out for a quick second. Y'all back? Everybody's cool? Okay. So this dude was being sneaky. He was in between these cars, got busted on camera, but he's still lying.
Right, but they're gonna. What's the reason to keep a car though? That's the question.
Yeah, what's the reason? Oh,
all right.
Y'all hear that one? There it is, y'all. So now Alf's going to go into court. And when the judge say, "Why did you key his car?" Yeah, because he was daring me. So let me understand. The guy said, "Hey, Miller, what are you going to do? I dare you to keep my car. I dare you to do it. Go ahead, do it." And I had to. This is remarkable. So why is this guy still in Congress? I don't know.
All right, so why don't we do this here? You want to just throw a pair of shoes on, come to the station?
Yeah.
I gotta follow you in so you can grab a pair
Take
of
them
shoes.
away, boys.
Pair of shoes like right here, right, sir?
Yeah.
All right.
Watch
I
it.
gotta come in there with you.
Go and tell the wife.
Need a pair of shoes somewhere handy right over here.
The guy wants to be arrested for keying his car.
What?
What? The guy wants me arrested for keying his car. What? You're a keyer? You're a car keyer? So now this guy has to go ahead and pay the price. Now, it's a misdemeanor, and I'm sure he'll get a slap on the wrist. He'll probably pay a fine, get the car fixed. But I'm glad that these cops held this man accountable. And I'm glad that the guy who had his car keyed held him accountable. You know, it makes me mad when I see charges dropped against liberals, when I see them tear up stuff and the cops don't hold them accountable. About time. They didn't let him get off because he was a senator or because he was in a liberal state or whatever. They held him accountable. And I would love to follow up and see what his punishment was. That's what I would like. You can't go around destroying people's property and justifying it by saying they disagree with me politically, so they must deserve it. This guy deserved everything he got and probably should have deserved more. He better be lucky he didn't key the wrong guy's car that might have solved it right there on the spot. That would have been worse. Funny as heck to see Bad Body Alf lookalike getting dusted out there in the parking lot with the key still in his hand. Unbelievable. But hey, the stupidity is not just confined to the United States. Stupid stuff is going on too over in Europe. Europe liberals are dumb as well. Look at this, guys. Watch this. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Now y'all see that? That's a liberal over in Europe tearing up France and decided, you know what we gonna do? We gonna cut down a camera so that we can continue looting and stuff because we need food and hunger. And this is the way that we get justice, by destroying property and stealing and looting and stuff. Because somebody got shot, decided to run from the cops, and instead of waiting for the details, why do that? Why do that? Because we're liberals. So we should just go ahead and start, being vindictive. This isn't one of those, I'm just mad, and this is a impulsive reaction. This is a methodical, planned strategy right here. They recognized the camera, and they were trying to cut the camera down so that they can continue looting and doing the stuff we've been watching them do over in France. And look what happens because liberals don't think it through. Oh, look at that. Oh, my God. Oh, holy moly. Did y'all see that? Just in case you didn't see it. Let's go ahead and see it again because I think he just killed his friends. All three of his friends standing under the lamppost, y'all. Now, I don't want to ever see anybody get killed, but it sure is sweet to see him regret it instantly. I like that instant regret, man. Like the one dude cutting down a statue and it fell on top of him. Stuff like that. Like I got a clip one day I'll show y'all. It's hilarious. I know that YouTube would flag me, but some liberal goes and throws a rock through the back of this older man's car and decide, well, yeah, you deserve it. And this old man got out there and punched him and knocked him straight out, man. Hilarious. So here this guy is, man, thinking we're about to cut down this and almost, I think he might have, the first guy definitely might have got killed. Yeah, I think the first guy's dead. I'm just going to go ahead and assume because that was a direct hit in the head. They don't think it through. Liberals do the darndest things, y'all. Now, how can you even take your buddies to the hospitals? They most likely done looted the hospitals, tore it up. Now, all of a sudden, they got to go in repentive. We know we was in here last night dressed in all black, and we destroyed all of the medical equipment, but I just almost killed 3 of my friends. You think you got some iodine or maybe some Tylenol or something? My one friend's head is half of it still around the corner. It's connected to the light post. How can you do that? This man he should get some charges brought up against him because he looked like he killed one of them and maimed the other two. He took out 3. That's right. That's how dumb these liberals are. So, guys, it doesn't just stop with the liberals in Europe. Oh, y'all, this right here.
4 children less than 10 years old are in DCF custody after they were found in an apartment with 6 cross-dressing men, sex toys, drugs, and alcohol. Firefighters discovered them after one of those adults died at the apartment.
Hold on, Lydian, go get my pistol. That's what should be happening. Eddie Murphy. What? You got into a fight with Danny Terrio? What the heck you doing in the bar with Danny Terrio? Huh? No, Eddie, stop it. No, Eddie, stop. Stop crying, Eddie. No. Nobody does something for nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Had to done something. So here, this guy right here dies in the house, and they're always saying, guys, they're not groomers. These folks right here don't try to connect anything to folks that are in that community and stuff like that. They're not coming after the kids. Now, you would think this story would reach national, level. But this is a local channel, Local 5. And what happened? So that guy right there, just getting his baseball bat? Yeah, pretty much. So they had some kids up in this, and it is a house full of what? Who all was in this?
And alcohol. With 6 cross-dressing men, sex toys, drugs, and alcohol.
Yeah, go get the baseball bat.
Firefighters discovered them after one of those adults died at the apartment.
It was obviously sickening, to hear from those that were there at the scene, describing what they saw and the actions of the adults that were in the room.
The apartment was in extreme unsanitary conditions. All adult parties were being uncooperative and denied having children in the apartment.
Drugs, alcohol, drug paraphernalia, sex toys, etc. And so they were concerned. They had reached out to me just to make sure that it didn't get swept under the rug.
So, guys, that man who released that clip and was pretending to clean up his baseball bat and all that stuff. Yeah, pretty much. See, whenever your mind is that perverted to where you automatically think that men and women are interchangeable, you can just do whatever. And for some reason, a large group of these people who believe this are also, for whatever reason, sexualizing kids. They want the kids to adopt this, participate in this. Your mind's already twisted, considering the fact that you already believe that you can just go, now I'm a woman or now I'm a man. So that starts the craze right there. Everything else after that, you can assume is also motivated by some type of craze. Because a rational thinking adult, if they did choose to do this, because remember, guys, this ain't new as far as cross-dressers, they're not, the word transgender is new, but they used to call them people in drag, or they would call them transsexuals, or, cross-dressers, things like that. But those people back then always recognized one thing. Number one, I am a cross-dresser, or I am a man that's going to get a surgery to try to be a woman. In reality, that's never going to work. But they did that. This new craziness is something else. They done eliminated that. They done eliminated the logic, the rationale, and the reality of recognizing what you are, but choosing to live your life as something else. Once you leap from that reality, all of a sudden, it's easier to leap into other things. That is how perversity works. Once you compromise so far, it never stops. It goes further. So a rational thinking adult, even back then, those folks knew, don't be messing with kids. Don't be over there talking about, since I'm a cross-dresser or I'm a transsexual, I want kids to do this. This is new. This is demonic, man. This right here done jumped onto the planet, and the left is protecting this crap. That's why you don't hear about these stories. See, you never want the people that are going, these people, now I'm not saying all of them have a motive. Some of them probably just leave the kids alone. But there's a large percentage of them that is targeting kids. For what purpose? That's my question. Either one, you want to pervert these kids' bodies and minds, or two, You want to prepare these kids for something else. And any rational adult sitting in a club where kids dancing and flopping all around and stuff, or kids in the audience throwing money at people, something's wrong. And I'm not talking about just the trans community, but if parents bring their kids to those type of events, the parents got something going on up here too. Just like that. So imagine finding out that your kid been accosted and posted up in that apartment with these dudes. I would have been cleaning my baseball bat and other things as well. I might be sitting in a dimly lit room, man, like, nah, we ain't gonna let the law handle this one. Nah, this is special. This is special. Kid, what are you doing in there? Nothing. Go away. Go away. I'm preparing for war. Paint on the face and everything. You don't mess with kids. So this story was buried because the left supports this crap and they don't want any negative PR. Same thing when an illegal immigrant comes over here and does something like kill a whole bunch of people. It's never covered. They don't want to bring negativity to what they support. So what I suggest is that people compile all of these cases and studies. And then when they're debating with these folks, you support this crap? Okay, what about this, and that? These are all results, but we shouldn't be concerned. We shouldn't have a healthy dose of skepticism when we see grown men talking about these kids should be, and I'm speaking to the children. I want the kids to know that. We shouldn't be concerned about that. Unreal. And you should be too as a politician. And if you're not, you shouldn't be voted in. But hey, guys, we're not done with the liberals yet. I'm about to show y'all how to blow a liberal's mind, y'all. You ready for this? This mind blowing? This sister right here just blew this liberal's mind completely. Check this out. Ooh-wee.
I'm not even mad at you, baby. I'm feeling like fake news. This is the thing. I know people don't like Trump. I understand that. But let me tell you something. If I had to pick between him and Joe Biden, I'm not voting in Joe Biden. You want to see a bunch of black people go to jail by the next 4 years? Put Joe Biden away. Watch what happens. You want to see black men get killed substantially, like you've never seen before? Put Joe Biden in and watch what happens. These Democrats, and I'm sorry to say this, I'm not trying to be racist, but they hate black people.
Oh, that liberal with that little hat on looked like she should be farming some bees. All she needs is the net. The cover, she's getting schooled by a sister. So all of these white liberals who think by supporting these Democrat policies, it's good for black people. They don't realize they are hurting black folks. They're destroying the black community. They're belittling the black community. They don't even realize how narcissistic they are. We're going to swoop in and save all the, underprivileged black folks who can't find IDs and don't know how to use computers and all of those things. We're here to help. Yes, we're here to make sure that we have crayons of color that match all the kids in the rainbow. We're here to make sure Band-Aids and stuff match your skin color. That's what we're here. We're here to do that. We're here to let our babies cry because we're teaching them not to feel like a white woman's tears should bring some type of rescue. That's what we're here to do. And all they're doing is making some black people sorry by catering to this and enabling them and then insulting the rest of us. So now she's getting schooled by a black woman. She don't know what to do with this. She's sitting there like, oh, shoot, what do? Do I call her a white nationalist, racist, xenophobe? Or do I sit here and take this licking?
These are the same people who fought to put slavery in. These are the same people who built the KKK. These are the same people who hated us from the beginning. The Republican Party is the party of the blacks. Blacks free, the Republican Party is the only party that the black people actually assisted in finding. But all of that history has been torn away. People say, oh, there was this big switch. There was never a big switch.
Never a big switch?
The Union won because we had grown in the industrial era. So we were able to get trains and get supplies back to our soldiers while the Confederates were still riding horses. They were not able to get supplies back fast enough, right?
Woo-wee! She don't know what to do with it. That head right now is on the verge of popping. I would have loved to see how she reacted after getting this verbal lashing in this history lesson. I wonder if she went home to think about it. I wonder if she went home and said, maybe I'm seeing this all wrong. I just heard from a black person who knew more about American history than me. Here I am thinking I'm helping by supporting the Democrat Party who really never, ever, ever embraced black folks. They use us though. They will use us. They will put a whole bunch of Ignorant or sellout black folks in power so they can have the appearance of being diverse. But those are controlled black folks, y'all. Same ones on their networks that they use to keep black folks in charge. They're doing the same tactic that they did during slavery. You know how we control them black folks? We empower some of the other black folks to be overseers. They're the first line of defense. Yeah, and then you get dumb white liberals who get out there and side with these Democrats and their policies, and they adopt these crazy behind beliefs about black folks, which only is nothing more than racism of low expectations. We're here to swoop in and save the day by recognizing our white privilege. Yes, I'm not going to give you my goods. I'm not going to tell you, you can have my job. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say you can have my house and my car and all that stuff. I'm not going to go empty my bank account out. No, but I will tell you I acknowledge that I have white privilege. That right there. Meaning I acknowledge I'm better than you. That's what that means. So this woman right here is sitting there quiet as a mouse. You can hear a mouse pee on cotton right now out of her.
So what happened was once slavery was abolished in the South, the people in the South could no longer make their money from slaves. They had to move to the North to work in the industry to produce. And so the people in the North that already had established themselves in the industry moved to the South. And so that's where it was a transfer of people coming from the South to the North and people coming from the North to the South. There was never a big switch. So the same Democrats who hated black people from the beginning are the same ones who hate us now. When they use our cause, how did Black Lives Matter turn into something about LGBTQ?
Oh, boy, this woman's juicy. Oh, out there with the windbreaker, the raincoat, dropping these facts on these lip rails. And she's exactly right. They use us. I cannot stand when they go out there and they say, you know what, because black people can't get IDs, we need to go ahead and abolish the need for IDs to vote. Only for voting. Only for voting. Just want to make that clear. Okay. Everything else, we want you black folks to show IDs. All right. Don't be coming to the White House talking about Rollo who? Jenkins. All right, Rollo, where's your ID? I ain't got one. Black folks don't need that. See, don't be doing that. All right. But when it comes down to voting, it's only because black folks can't get IDs. Or could it be that you're using us so that you can go ahead and all of your precious legal immigrants that you're bringing in here can go in and say, I'm here to vote. My name is Jose Rodriguez. Okay, Jose. Now, you sure you're telling the truth? See, click it. And then maybe bounce, go to the next district, click it. Pretty much anybody. But they use black folks. All of that. COVID, black folks are disproportionately affected because COVID, it targeted black folks. It's like, man, leave these white folks alone. Let's go to the hood and harass them, infect them. Climate change, racism of climate change. Black folks are, I cannot stand when I hear them using us. Same thing with the transgender movement, that black folks ain't on that stuff. And I've been saying that forever. Maybe these liberals should do a poll. All of these folks and these politicians on the Democrat side who black folks majority vote for, maybe they should start asking black families, how do you feel about your kids reading this material in school? How do you feel about that, huh? How do you feel about us trying to pass legislation that will bypass parents rather, and would allow the kids to go ahead and get things done to them that is completely unnecessary before they're 18? And see how many black folks be like, that sounds good to me. That's right. So now she got to school her.
When blacks really don't support that. We're conservative. We're really not about that. Not only that, we don't support abortion. We're about working. This is the black culture. We ain't different about that. Not only that, we're not about feminism.
Oh, girl, she is giving it to her. See, and she said black folks ain't about that, and it's the truth. What gets us, and I hate to say it, man, it burns me up. It gets church folks, and it gets black folks. And even Latinos sometimes, but they're not as bad as black folks, man. It kills me because I'm black. But they get us with simply saying racism. Just dropping that out there makes you forget about them going after kids. Makes you forget about them with an open border. Makes you forget about the fact that all of our neighborhoods are ran down, violence, guns, gangs, and all of that. Makes you forget about the fact that they are anti-school choice. Makes them forget about all of that. Makes them forget about the fact that they're sending all the money instead of putting it in black neighborhoods or wherever. privileged neighborhoods, underprivileged neighborhoods. They're sending it over. They're sending it over to Ukraine. Makes them forget about everything. It's like a buzzword that freezes you up, deer in headlights. All of a sudden, you can't see policies that will impact your life because you're focused on one thing, racism. You could be sitting there jiving with one of your friends like, man, that's bullcrap. They sending all the money over there, and this and that, man. And I wish they would be putting legal immigrants in my neighborhood, man. My kids are racism. What? Yes, I shall go down and vote for the Democrats. There it is. It's like they brainwashed them. Full blown. I'm waiting for the big clock. Click, click, click. You're getting sleepy. Whenever you hear racism, stop what you're doing and go straight down there and vote Democrat. While everything else in your life implodes. And you sitting there waiting for them to fix racism somehow. You think they're going to do that? Then what would they run on? If they solve racism, how would you become a puppet again? See, they need you. So why solve it when all they got to do is drop it out there every 4 or 2 years and they get your vote? That's the only reason that black folks vote for the Democrats. It kills me. They don't talk about no other policies. All it is, man, I ain't voting for no racist white nass. And I'm going, that's it? That's the only thing that is important to you. And it never gets solved because it's a part of their strategy. You know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but I'm passionate about this, man. Power to my people if they ever wake up like this sister.
When black women marry their husbands and respect their husbands, that's what we on. We're not on this, I do what I want. We don't do that. That's not our community, and you would understand. I know you.
That's right. You don't see a lot of black feminists running around. That's right. My grandmama and them, shoot, they even tolerated my grandfather, his name was Henry. They called him Mr. B. Mr. B was a mess, man. But grandmama hung in there with him, I'm not saying let your husband abuse you, but I will say that normally, you know, you look at certain cultures, you don't see a lot of feminism rising up. If you get a sassy sister, it ain't because she's a feminist. It's because most likely she don't respect you as a man for the simple fact, maybe you're a raggedy husband, boyfriend, maybe you done did something to lose that respect. Or maybe she just smells that you're so softcore that she can't respect your authority just because, you know, your status as her man. Maybe. But it most likely is not running around talking about, you know what, we don't need men at all. You just drop the one you're with and you go to another one. But these radical feminists and stuff, they are anti-man. It ain't let me get rid of a raggedy man. It's let me go and say, I don't need men. Men are stupid. They're the problem. They're messing up everything and they're this and this and that. And now you get a whole culture of emasculated, scared men. That ain't going to work if a war breaks out. Yeah, let the grid go down. And I want to see how all the feminists running around are going to respond. That's what I want to know. They're going to go and find the biggest, burliest man who's chopping down the biggest tree and building a cabin in the woods. That's what they would do. You would see them grow out those butch cuts, put some lipstick up, and come up in that mug like poo-poo-be-doo. They wouldn't be walking up there with the tattoo of an anchor on their sleeve, rolled up, talking about some get out the way. I'm about to go ahead and chop this tree down. You would see them all become feminized almost overnight. But because we live in modern times, they feel men don't have a role. They're the problem. Unreal. Listen, I'm sorry, yo. I meant to continue going on, but I just keep getting distracted by my own passions.
We don't do that. But yet these people are hijacking our movement and the Democratic Party, they're trying to hijack us. No.
Ooh, girl. We don't do that. But the Democrats be hijacking our movements all the time. They figure, hey, if we can't beat them, just like when they said, you know what? If these black folks don't vote, I'm going to have them voting for us for 200 years. Yeah, that's right. If you can't stop it, control it. If you can't stop it, you know what? Let's co-opt it. Let's fund it. Find a couple softcore sellout black folks who thinking we're supporting the cause, but really what we're doing is we're setting you up for us to control you to make all these other black folks do exactly what we need them to do. That's all it comes down to. When you start accepting money from these big donors and George of the Jungle and all these people, they co-opt your movement. You think those 3 witches that started Black Lives Matter, they were handpicked? They made sure that these folks right there would not give them a problem. And as much has come out about Black Lives Matter, for some reason, some folks still support it. And I'm like, you're the dumbest person ever. They take your money. They don't do nothing in the Black community. You see the one witch who became rich. The witch became rich. And you still support that crap? It's unreal, especially men. I be sitting back, do you ever see them exalt men? They don't even care about men. Did you read their little pamphlet about what they believe? Those were radical feminists. Unreal to me, man. Boy, it's good to be smart. Now, what is this? Speaking of mind-blowing, libs, blow libs mind. Now, that's crazy, see. So we done saw, conservatives blow liberals' minds, but now we're about to see liberals blowing other liberals' minds? You telling me it's a civil war raging? Or at least seem to be maybe raging? Oh, let's see. Here's a liberal right here.
Now her attorney is looking to potentially sue media outlets that propagated false allegations about his client, but we still don't know the full story. And it's better to wait and see how this develops before people try to destroy a stranger's life and livelihood.
Since when? TYT. Pretty young thing. So now you hear that? So this was a liberal. She still is liberal, but I hope she follows the path of Dave Rubin. I think Dave Rubin used to work for them as well. And what was the black dude? Larry Elder. Yeah, he got hold to Larry Elder, and Larry Elder did to him what we just saw that black lady do to the other white lady. Schooled him, and he couldn't combat it. He was sitting there like, that does make sense. And it's coming from a black man. Interesting. That opened up his mind. This woman right here is starting to see, hopefully she'll continue down this path, but right now I can't bet on her. But nonetheless, she's starting to see herself inserted in this crap because she's starting to see that liberals don't care about whether you are feminist, whether you are liberal. It's all about controlling you and making sure you're 100% on board with every single narrative that they have. So her first shock was coming out and saying, I am not a birthing person. I'm a woman. Dun, dun, dun. You can't say that. That's right. So, that's the reaction. Was kind of like secretive nymph Nicodemus. You can't kill Nicodemus. You can't say you're not a birthing person. You gotta come out and be like, I'm a birthing person. I'm a cis woman. All of that. She refused to say that, and the left came down on her heavy. That was one of the wake up calls. She's like, oh shoot. Okay, wait a minute. Why am I being attacked by the same people who was praising me and thanking me for all of the liberal support? So I don't have much compassion for her because I've watched them for years encourage this same type of reaction that now she's complaining about. These folks were jumping first and asking questions later and wasn't caring about how it destroys people's lives. Kind of like the guy, Alf, in the beginning of my show, who keyed that man's car, don't know nothing about him, don't know his beliefs. Just decided, you know what? I'm going to judge this guy, okay, based on a sticker or whatever he got on his car. Keyed his car and paid the price. So now she's starting to wake up a little because she's realizing, wait a minute, I just got attacked by people who I thought supported me. And here's the odd part about this. Conservatives will give credit when credit is due. It's not an all or nothing thing. So, for example, her response to the Karen bike riding lady, I agree with her. These folks went out there and tried to destroy this woman's life. And it didn't even make sense because liberal logic don't make sense. They wanted us to believe, just like Alf in the beginning wanted us to believe, that the man got out the car threatening him and he decided, based on you threatening me, I'm going to go and key your car. They wanted us to believe that pregnant lady got off work, all those other bikes sitting there. She decides, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to walk over to these 3 or 4 big black guys and steal their bike. There you go. Right off grip. Your common sense should have kicked in. That doesn't make sense. Okay? We're in a culture now where people are looking for racism. So a lot of white folks do everything they can to avoid it because it can fall into something just like this. So now she's starting to come to some conclusions. Yeah, you can't just go around ruining people's lives and not waiting it out. Oh, now you're waking up. And something else happened, y'all, to wake her up. Let's check it out. What's this? Oh, a lady up in New York. Now look at that old lady KKK member right there. You see that old lady Nazi? Point at Eric, that vulnerable, underprivileged black governor or mayor. She's sitting there with that crooked white nationalist finger talking to him. Not because she's mad at his policies and what allowed to happen to these New Yorkers and their rent and all of that stuff. Not because of that. She's talking to him like that because she looks at him like, you know, he's a slave or something. That's right. You're lucky this ain't 100 years ago. I'd own you. That's what she's doing.
Before and after you supported those rent increases. In Nashville, they had a 0% rent.
Tell her, mama.
Why in New York City, where the real estate is controlling you, Mr. Mayor, why are we having these horrible rent increases last year and this year?
Now, you know what's odd about that? That was tame compared to how liberals ask questions and react. See, most likely, if this was a conservative district and liberals was in that meeting, either he would be called a whole bunch of fascist, white nationalists, xenophobes, or they would shut it all down. They would be in the background screaming and yelling and all that stuff. So technically, this woman was kind of tame, considering how mad she is about her rent going up. Not to mention the crime. Not to mention him bringing all these illegal immigrants in and packing them into all the hotels and sticking them in schools and stuff. Not to mention that. So instead of him absorbing that blow, what does this bootleg sellout dude do? Race bait.
Okay, first, if you're going to ask a question, don't point at me and don't be disrespectful to me. I'm the mayor of this city, and treat me with the respect I deserve to be treated.
Which is none. You don't deserve no respect. That's why she came at you with that tone. If I was there and my rent went up, I would have the same tone. What are you going to do? Call me a slave owner? See, I would be up there. Matter of fact, I might be a little worse. I might be like, and if you don't like it, man, how about you bring your big bald-headed tail right on from behind that and we can go bald head to bald head. That's what we could do. Bucking. That's what we can do, Eric. But here he is. First of all, do you speak to me with some respect because I'm the mayor? And then here comes the race baiting.
I'm speaking to you as an adult. Don't stand in front like you treated someone that's on the plantation that you own. Give me the respect I deserve and engage in a conversation up here in Washington Heights.
Isn't it so?
Yeah, you see that? Now, this lady right here is starting to get the hint that, hey, they're not really fighting against racism and discrimination. They're using racism and discrimination to deflect from being competent, productive, all of that, from having to answer a legitimate concern rather, and question. They're using that. And guess what, lady? You're white. See, maybe all of these liberals need a wake-up call because as soon as they have a moment of common sense or they question the narrative, they too will become a white nationalist, racist slave owner. So if you're smart, you will wake up and fight against this crap. You would be upset with allowing these politicians to use identity politics to get their way across and to silence you and to not have to debate and not be accountable, not have to answer questions. This man didn't even try to answer the question. He just wrote it off and said, you know what, you're disrespecting me and you're talking to me like you are a plantation owner. Next question. She's sitting there going, wait a minute, how did I just become a racist? I thought I was talking about my monthly rent. So now let's see how this liberal right here perceives this.
So wonderful when someone asks you a question that makes you uncomfortable, you could just weaponize race to shut her down. Yeah. That's exactly what happened there.
Exactly.
People are working their asses off in this country, okay? Working overtime, long hours, barely making enough money to afford housing, okay? They did everything right, they followed all the rules, and they can't even afford to put a roof over their heads. Damn right they're angry. And for any politician, anyone who signed up for this, who ran to sit in the seat that Eric Adams is in right now, to deflect and immediately imply that someone is racist because...
Now, wait a minute, y'all. This don't sound like somebody from TYT. This sounds like some white nationalist, some privileged, arrogant Karen right here. Yeah, she sounds like some conservative. She sounds like some upper to middle class woman who's controlled by her husband. Yeah, that's what all of the feminists say. The only reason upper class and middle class white women vote for conservatives because they can't think for themselves. Their husbands control them. That's what she sounds like. So now all of a sudden, she's waking up and realizing a little bit that, wait a minute, I just realized I'm white and I'm a white woman. The wrong move could make me become a Karen. The wrong statement makes me transphobic. The wrong question makes me a plantation owner. Maybe I shouldn't be promoting this crap. Maybe I shouldn't be playing such a huge role into creating these narratives and building this mentality that opened the door for all of this race baiting. So when in doubt, hey man, don't ask me no questions. You're white. You're racist, man. Get on out of here. Next. Unreal. So now she's upset, y'all.
Because she dare ask you a question in an aggressive way. I'll grant him that, in an aggressive way, about this very real and serious issue. It's just infuriating. I'm so sick of all of it. Okay, I'm sick of these politicians who run for public office, run to be public servants, and end up being anything but. Can we just, for a second, acknowledge the power dynamic in this exchange?
Yeah. Right, yeah. Because see, that old lady, she has way more power than the black mayor. There you go. The power dynamic. See, that black mayor was underprivileged and felt threatened. Full-grown man, threatened by that old white lady with that racist finger sticking out there. I'm pretty sure in her purse she had a whip. Probably had a horse waiting out there to round him up and take him back to the plantation. Yeah, that's how he felt. So yeah, the power dynamic was way unbalanced. The old white lady controlled the whole thing. She's very powerful.
He's the mayor of New York City. Let's just consider that power dynamic. That's it, okay? I mean, we're not talking about some rich, privileged white woman who comes across an impoverished black person and yells at him for no reason. This is a powerful man. He is the mayor of the largest city in this country, and she has a legitimate concern and is representing a concern for countless New Yorkers. To brush her off as someone who just sounds like a plantation owner so you don't have to answer the question, pretty gross.
Yeah, there you have it. And she's a liberal. Hopefully she'll continue to let that red pill seep in. See, because when I sit back and I look at all the achievements and accomplishments that black folks have made and the progress, yet they constantly are telling us that we're disadvantaged. We done had us a black president, but that ain't enough. That ain't enough. Yeah, man. We got black congressmen, black congresswomen. We got all of that stuff, but that ain't enough, y'all. That ain't enough. Yeah, we got black millionaires and black business owners, but that ain't enough. That ain't enough, y'all. Somehow, we're still able to use slavery analogies and comparisons and stuff like that to silence white people who question us. Or could it be that this is a strategy that these folks are using, bringing back all of this so-called racism and the history of black folks and underprivileged and stuff? See, they will allow him to use this on that white woman. As they talk about white folks have white privilege, you think she was privileged? Did she look rich? Where was her diamonds and gold all on her fingers? What about when Ohio up here, and they had that train explosion? Did you see all those rich, upper class, white privileged people when Trump went there? Did you see them come out with their pinkies up talking about, hello, so glad you can join us, Donald Trump. When are we going to get rid of all of these black peasants? That's what I want to know. They didn't do that. These folks didn't look privileged to me. I know a whole heap of black folks living way better than many, many white folks. But if you listen to folks like Eric Adams, who's rich and the governor of a large city, he right there felt threatened by the old little white lady. There you go. See, so hopefully this woman right here continues on her journey. Maybe she'll wake up and leave that bootleg network. Matter of fact, I saw a video where a transgender guy who was on their network, he came out and said he's leaving because guess what, y'all? He said that her and the other guy right there, because they don't believe that men should be getting in and beating up on women in sports. He said because of that, they're transphobic. He's leaving the network. These liberals that we've been watching on this network for years, that man got mad because one, she said she's not a birthing person. And two, they said that, hey man, men should not be competing against women. And that was too much. That means that there is black and white when it comes down to radical liberalism. If you don't agree 100%, then you get thrown in the same category as us white nationalist Trump supporters. Isn't that ironic? But they just seem not to be learning quickly enough. So let's continue. What's this? Speaking of race card, oh, I smell, gotta be some Joy Reid coming up. Got to be.
You'd had a back and forth on the Twitters with one Vivek Ramaswamy, who currently is boasting about getting, who was the only African-American anchor in this business before I joined him in Prime at CNN, Don Lemon. He's boasting about getting him fired.
Good. He need to go. Dang on it. Big softcore Don Lemon. They gave that dude way more chances. He was a cat with 9 lives. Unbelievable. I've been watching Puss in Boots. Yeah, Don blew through all 9 of his lives tons of years ago. But he was still hanging on because he was black. Now that right there is black gay privilege. That's what that's called. He should have been gone. But Joy now has the task of coming out and trying to destroy the narrative that people of color, other minorities, can be conservative and can be smart and don't buy into all of this crap. So her whole job is to counter this man right here. And boy, I think she might have bit off more than she can chew. So she brings another Indian guy out there who's a Democrat, and let's see how he sells out his whole people and himself.
He thinks that is somehow going to be a big, flag for his run for president. Your thoughts on him? Because you've been back and forth with him online.
You know, when he first started, I thought, okay, here's an Indian American, funny name, we disagree.
Now, before I even let this guy talk, why do you think Joy Reid invited him on the show? Your thoughts on him? Let me understand. You pick a topic, which is Ramaswamy, and what he did with Don Lemon, and what he felt about Black history. You pick that topic. Then you bring on a man that is of the same race to your show. You lead in with your opening statement, so we already know how you feel about him. And then you ask this guy, what do you feel about him? Now, do you think that Joy does not know how this guy feels about him? Do you think that these two did not coordinate this? You think this man right here went on completely blinded and just like, so what's the topic today? She brought this sellout on to undermine the other Indian guy. That's what she's doing. And they do it with black folks too. You let a black conservative get out there and become too popular or say something very smart that people go, wow, that you know what? I never thought of that. The first thing the fake news does is say, now let's find a black person to bring on that will undercut the other black person. Unreal, like we can't see it. And probably people who watch MSNBC can't see it either. So here this guy is.
Hopefully he makes a good showing or does something well. And it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing, Joy. My phone blew up with other Indian Americans saying, make it clear he doesn't speak for us. Yeah. I mean, to sit there lecturing a black man about black history.
I wonder if he was just upset about Joy Behar when she talked about, people like Clarence Thomas and all of them. Yeah, see, they don't understand black history. They don't understand racism. See, that's what she was saying. That's why the Republicans, people like him and Ben Carson and people like that. Because Joy Behar knows way more about the black community and about racism and the history of black folks than those two. Very, 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 very. I can't even, there's not enough varies I could put on it. Smart. I can go on and on with the varies. That chick got out there and said that, and they overlooked that mess. And here he is talking about he does not speak for the Indian community, and it was very embarrassing. How could you lecture this man about the black history? What, you ain't allowed to know about black history? Why do we have white people in schools teaching black history? Obviously, you have to be black to talk about it.
Was totally uncalled for. And then he didn't have all his historical facts. So the Indian American community in this country owes a huge debt to the African American community. If it weren't for the civil rights movement, the 1965 Immigration Reform Act that passed.
No, what you should be saying is that the Indian community has a huge debt to the Republican Party. Yeah, the party that fought against racism. All those folks who sacrificed their lives along with black folks fighting against Democrats, who this guy right here is a part of right now. So he's talking about the history and a huge debt. What are you talking about? You know that dude don't believe that. And most Indians that come from India and come here, you think they're coming here thinking about, we owe a big debt to the black people. They're not thinking about that. What are you talking about? They're coming over here, they make good money, they support their family, and they're not thinking about that crap. But your job is to be the sellout. That's what your job is, man. You use that to the black community. For what? So if anything, how about you, as you're talking about the civil rights movement and all that stuff, how about you recognize the fact that your party was against that? Huh? Now he's talking about a huge debt to the civil rights community. Yeah, big old nice guy.
My parents wouldn't have come to America. Before that, basically, immigrants from Asia and Africa.
You're right. You're right. If the Democrats would have stayed in power, if they would have won the Civil War, you're right. Your parents wouldn't have been here. Black folks wouldn't be free. All of that stuff. And unfortunately, they're still trying to keep them enslaved without them knowing it by voting for these jive turkeys. And you're a part of that.
Not allowed to come. It was highly discriminatory.
It's really ironic because neither his nor my parents could have come here under the rules
of the Democrats. Neither his or my parents couldn't have came here under the Democrats and the KKK. If they had came to the South, it'd have been problems. It'd have been problems. But here Joy is defending that party who was responsible for all the atrocities and the racism and the segregation and the civil rights resistance and stuff. She's defending that party along with this man. They're the gatekeepers, if you're wondering, their role.
For the Civil Rights Act, before that 65 Civil Rights Bill, but he's acting as if the NRA somehow saved African Americans in the Civil War. The NRA wasn't even formed until 1871.
Now you hear her trying to deceive folks? So now I got to go ahead and bring up some things that maybe she should have mentioned. So let me see. Slavery was abolished in 1865. The KKK. Oh, well, look at this, y'all. The KKK was founded December 24th of 1865. So after they lost the Civil War in the South, all those Democrats decided, you know what we gonna do? We gonna form the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, and gonna harass them black folks that's still down in this area. We ain't gonna let them have civil rights and be voting, messing up things down here. Understand that? So now the KKK gets formed in 1865, and then shortly after, the NRA is founded in November 17th, 1871. Now, during that time, the KKK was still active. They were down there. So it appears to me that the NRA was not formed to free black people. It had nothing to do with that. However, that doesn't rule out the fact that the NRA was helping black folks down in the South by arming them against what? Democrats. But she's trying to make it seem like when he's talking about the NRA assisting black folks, that the NRA was formed or started to make sure black folks have the right to own weapons or make sure that, slavery is abolished. No, it was formed. But once they saw what was going on down there in the South, because this went too much further after the Ku Klux Klan was formed. So now they formed the NRA. And they see all these black folks down there just vulnerable, no guns, and all those Democrats down in the South burning stuff, burning churches, harassing folks in the middle of the night. You know what might help them defend themselves? Some guns. So she's not talking about that, though. See, she's trying to make it seem like his timeline was off.
Well, he doesn't know anything about African American history. He clearly doesn't know the reasons for the Civil War because he thinks the purpose of the Civil War was to get black people the right to bear arms.
No, see. So once again, you see how first of all, you should be happy that black people finally was able to bear arms. Now y'all trying to get rid of all of the arms. Isn't that ironic? These are the same people who want more gun restrictions and stuff like that. Do you realize a lot of black people own guns too? Joyless Reed, you big old nasty bubble face, apple head sellout. Race baiting, too much makeup wearing, bootleg, Scary J. Blige looking. Don't you realize that? But now she's talking about, he said that it was formed to give black people. No, it was, the Civil War was to make sure you abolish slavery. As a result, yes, we had to move forward and fight all these battles, making sure that black folks would eventually be able to own guns. But until then, how about we go ahead and send some guns down there to help them fight against these white nationalist, racist Democrats, Joy.
What?
In the Dred Scott case, Chief Justice Taney held for the Supreme Court that black people could not be citizens before the Civil War because that would allow them to own guns. After the Civil War, the first anti-gun laws, gun control laws that were passed in this country were actually passed to stop black people from owning guns. These are some of the facts that I educated Don Lemon on set in a heated exchange that we had shortly before his firing. So shortly after that exchange, Joy Reid, an MSNBC host, has Ro Khanna, a Democratic politician who happens to be Indian American, as a stand-in for the Indian American view, criticizing me for supposedly stating falsehoods. Actually, everything I stated is factually true based on U.S. history, but criticizing at length my supposed falsehoods, and then has Ro Khanna effectively licking her feet, which is exactly what she wanted on air.
Exactly. I told y'all that's what he was there for. He was there to do some bootlicking, some bootlicking, He was down there lapping up all of those boots. So it appears that the Democrat Party strategically brings in people of color and diversity to make sure they can control citizens of color and diversity. There it is. You think that they're empowering all of these people in their party and elevating them on the show because they just love black people? If they really loved the black people, they would be doing something about these black S-hole cities that folks like that black peanut head mayor who was just talking about that white lady asking him a question, that plantation owner. Yeah, cities like that, Chicago, St. Louis, all of those places, they would make sure that those folks had what they needed and was able to go to the schools they wanted to go to. They wouldn't be dumping a whole bunch of illegal immigrants in those neighborhoods. See, that's what they would do if they really loved the black people. But they just make sure they have just enough for them sprinkled in amongst their party and power and stuff to be the representative, the face of the minority community. And we're all supposed to line up behind these idiots. Woo-wee! Kev, you're on it. Thank you. I know tonight I'm feeling like I'm in the pocket, man. I'm in the pocket. So now this man gets a chance to respond to Joyless Reid, which don't want none of him on the show, though. She won't bring him on. She'll bring on that other bootleg dude to go ahead and try to slander this guy, but she don't want none of that right there. She's like, okay, so now he got to go ahead and respond via internets to this garbage.
Talking about how Indian Americans owe black Americans a debt of gratitude. So I thought it was remarkable that here's a TV host, supposedly who wants to engage in open debate about my views on this post-Civil War history, who's talking about me on air extensively to another Indian American second-rate stand-in, but won't talk to me directly. So I made an offer. I said, if you want to have a debate about this, if you think that your recounting of the post-Civil War history is any different than mine, let's have that debate in the open.
She don't want none of that. She don't want that smoke. She don't want none of that, man. Listen to me. They brought in a counterfeit. They brought in the counterfeit stunt double for Ramaswamy. Now, granted, guys, you know, this man right here, I hope he gets some type of position. If Trump's my guy, but I really like this dude right here. So far, he's been solid, man. And every time they tried to get him to throw Trump under the bus, he wouldn't do it. He seems to be very, and he holds some beliefs that even Trump talked about, how you got to go into this deep state and get rid of them. FBI, done, all of that stuff. He also believes that. I think he would wreak havoc if he was in the cabinet. I think he might be a good player, you know. So he's definitely one of my top guys when it comes down to forming a roster. But right now, I'm still leaning towards Kari Lake as the VP. I would love to see that, because boy, if raggedy behind Joe Biden manages to get drugged through the whole campaign process and he drags Chameleon Harris with him, that debate would be iconic. Lake versus Chameleon. Oh boy, I would pay top dollar to see that. All right, so let's finish hearing this man say, listen, if you want a shot at the title, how about you bring me on the show? Joyless, come out and play.
What do we get? Silence. This is what the modern left does, and Joy Reid embodies it. Very well, actually. Cower in fear and hide. Talk a big game when you're talking to your own community, when you're talking to the people who agree with you. But cower in fear when it comes to actually confronting the other side in open debate.
That's what I'm talking about, man. So now, Joyless Reid is so dumb that she owns herself. See, because remember, liberalism, it does something to the brain. You don't even realize that you're stepping in your own doo-doo. So here she is now trying to, I guess, be upset over them saying that all of this affirmative action is reverse, discrimination. And she decides to approach it while sticking her foot in her mouth and proving our point.
Now, more recently, she was spouting off about affirmative action after the Supreme Court came down with its ruling, saying that she would not have gotten into Harvard without affirmative action. What? I believe her. I think that's probably true. But then she also complained that she was judged negatively by her peers because she got in based on affirmative action.
Now, I really don't believe that. I believe that was thrown in for some extra berries and juices to spice it up. Because I saw her talking about that. And you're telling me that the folks from Harvard came to recruit you. And when you got in, all of a sudden, they were like, you know what? The only reason you're here is because you're black. You don't deserve this scholarship. Let me tell you something. Joy Reid is probably around my age, if not younger. I went to Miami University, an Ivy League school down in Oxford, Ohio, where Ben Roethlisberger played. Okay. When I was there, it was about 175 black folks, rather. Wasn't a lot of chocolate drops walking around. Wasn't a lot of them. Out of about 16, 17,000 people, it was about 175 black folks. I did not experience one comment, name, nothing. They were over hyper when it comes down to making sure the black folks felt comfortable. Yeah, might have got a couple grades changed up by going in. Like, dude, why you give me this D? Because your paper sucked. You missed the topic. You were all over the place. Your thought pattern was crazy. Your grammar was horrible. It's because I'm black. That's why. Whoa. Easy, pal. Easy, pal. Listen, I tell you what. Here, you put whatever grade you want to have on it. Give me this paper, okay? Any of my friends' papers in there too? Give me Rob's paper, my boy Locke right there. Let me see. He deserved one. All black folks. Those people were hypersensitive to black folks. If anything, those people during that time, these years ago, somebody probably could have came up to me easily and said, hey, man, the reason you're here in Miami is because you came on a football scholarship or because, you couldn't have came on an academic scholarship. If anybody wanted to degrade me or challenge the validity of why I'm there on the campus, they could have did that. This wasn't in liberal age right now that we're in right now. Yeah, people were still joking about black and white folks. Nobody was talking about, you can't say that. So if anything, I would have experienced some of that too. And she's trying to make us believe that that's her experience when she got to Harvard University. But by saying that she went there only because of affirmative action proves the point. Your butt probably wouldn't have been there any other way.
I actually said that that's wrong. It's wrong to black Americans. It's wrong to Asian Americans or white Americans who are discriminated against. But it's even unfair to black Americans, many of whom I went to school with, who would have gone in meritocratically anyway. It's unfair that they're judged that way. So I said so. And then Joy Reid again, classic pattern, talking about me instead of to me, says that, Vivek Ramaswamy also wouldn't have gotten into Harvard, but for affirmative action.
So basically, she's talking out the side of her neck. She won't say it to my face. That's what he's saying. And that burns me up, man. Liberals don't want to debate. That's why they come and they shut debates down. As soon as you ask them a question, they call you a racist, a white nationalist, or whatever. Yeah, when Joy brought other people on, they would straight go completely off. Once she starts getting beat up, she starts interrupting. Look, this is my show. Or even worse, they might just pull the plug on it. You know what? That's it. I got to go to commercial. Forget this. These people push these narratives. And when people that are smart challenge them, they just brush it off as you're a racist, white nationalist, or whatever. So here she is talking trash. And if this was where she grew up around black folks, you know what happened. You know what happened, y'all. Come say it in my face. So that's what he's doing. He said, how about you come say it in my face? Let's see what Joy does.
That is a lie, and it reflects a shocking combination of gall and ignorance, failing to pay attention to the fact that that case argued in front of the Supreme Court was brought on behalf of Asian Americans. That includes Indian Americans.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? That's crazy. The Asian Americans were the ones who saying we're being discriminated against. Here we are. It's a cultural thing. You hear these folks, they still out here firing off firecrackers, y'all. They just don't know how to stop, man. You know what? You wait until my show is over. I might go out there and chastise them. But nonetheless, it appears that the Asian American culture values education. I saw an interview with one of the young men. He said, man, we study twice as hard. I know. I had a Asian teacher at a black school that I taught at one time, and I had to go in just for disciplinary issues because the kids was in there acting a fool, and she was docile and gentle. She, no confrontation. No, no, please, study. Sit down. No, don't go there. And I had to come in and regulate. And she began to tell me how things were in China. I said, so how is the education in China? She said, in China, very, very different. I said, in what way? I teach one, maybe 200 children, one class, no problems. I said, what? So we got like 30 in this class, and they acting a complete fool. And you telling me you could teach 100 or 200 kids in one room and have no problems? No problems. I said, so wait. You got, what about like if a kid, miss school or something? They don't even miss school. She said for a kid to miss school in China, it got to be I'm in the hospital. And they look at the parents like, you have dishonored, the whole family for letting your kids miss it. And the kids look at education like that. Come home with a bad grade, you dishonored. That's what it is. And then what really got me, y'all, is one of the kids thought they was going to. So you telling me that in China, the kids all do their homework? What happens if a kid don't do her homework? She looked and she said, never happened. Never happened. She said if they didn't do their homework, they would take them outside and make them jog a mile. Yeah, try doing that here. You can't even say, hey, Jimmy, could you please be quiet if Jimmy's a minority? They're having a fit. You can't talk. He's black. He's not able to be quiet. Black people are, predisposed to not having self-control. So we have to lower the standard for them, says all the white liberals and the black sellouts. So now, if I worked hard and I deserve to get into Harvard and I see that folks that don't have the same grades as me are getting in just because of their color, I would be mad too.
Or systematically discriminated against, penalized by affirmative action, which rewards Black and Hispanic Americans. So that combination of ignorance but self-confidence embodies the modern left. And the sad part of it is, folks like Joy Reid, again, they have utter, total, apparent comfort with spewing falsehoods and doing it to only the silos and the echo chambers that agree with them. Totally comfortable to talk about me at length and all the reasons why I'm supposedly wrong, when in fact I'm grounded in fact. But what I say is, okay, if I believe in my views and you believe in yours, I'm open to having it out in the open. That's why I talk to Chuck Todd or Don Lemon, go on the Breakfast Club. I show up and believe in open dialogue and debate. That's how we get to truth. It's a shame to see that some of the leading commentators for the modern left, when push comes to shove, really just go back into their caves to hide from the truth, wallowing in their own fear. What I'll say is, Joy, from one alum to another, the offer still stands. I understand why you'd like to hide from debate, but I think it's better for the country if you're actually engaging with the people who disagree with you.
I love it. So he's calling her out. You think she's going to respond? You think she want those kind of troubles? No. I love the fact that he called her. I'm glad he didn't let that slide. Sit up here and let you talk trash amongst your friends. You know how folks are. Man, dude, if he would have been in my face, man, I'd have knocked him out. Man, next time I see him, I'll punch him in the face. You up here talking to all your boys and they hyping you up. Yeah, I feel you, dude. I would. Matter of fact, here he come right now. Oh, for real? Come on, man, let's bounce, man. Well, wait a minute. You said next time you see him, you was going to go ahead and punch him and knock him out. Let's do it, man. Nah, man. I ain't got time, man. Man, I got stuff to do, man. I ain't even on that, man. Yeah, you don't want no drama. That's what it is. So we'll still wait. Now, Joy, if you're listening, if anybody send this clip to her, I will promote that. I will get my Don King wig on, and I'll be like, tonight we got Ramaswamy versus Joyless Reid. I will quarterback that whole event. Now, let's close with something exciting. Let's end with a bang, y'all, because we got about, let's see, maybe 30, 29 minutes, something like that. I'm not sure. So let's go ahead and see what these real, very, very smart black folks are talking about, since we done heard the dumb ones and we done saw liberals acting a fool. Let's go out with a bang.
Law and order is being destroyed, and we have a two-tiered justice system that has been weaponized against political enemies, much like it was during Hitler's reign and Mao's reign, Stalin's reign.
I love Mark. Isn't he powerful? put me in the mind frame of a preacher. Yeah, man, down there in, I think, North Carolina. And I heard Lindsey Graham try to go ahead and come out on the stage and got booed. Honestly, I think Trump might have set him up for failure. We have Lindsey Graham. Let's go ahead and put him out there so he could get booed and we can laugh about it later. Sent him right out there to boo. But here's Mark. Mark right here is keeping it real because he's a smart black man. He realizes that all it takes is for black folks or Asian folks or Latino folks to start voting against the Democrats, and then they will feel the wrath of communism as well. See, immediately they will feel the wrath of all of this Marxism and fascism. They will feel the wrath of the Democrats weaponizing these institutions, not for just Trump supporters. This stuff is being weaponized for people who disagree with the party and the power. Threaten that, you fall into the category of not a Trump supporter or whatever. You're enemy of the state. You right there threatening their power and their control. So it don't matter what color or race you are. It's all about control and power. But they like to use race because right now we got a lot of ignorant people who think that's what it's about, except for Mark.
Not the United States that I remember as a child anymore.
Yeah.
We are in a precarious position where if we do not make the right move in 2024, this nation will fall. What is the right move?
What is it?
The right move, number one, is to get someone into office who puts America first.
Who could that be, Mark? Someone in the office who puts America first? Like the Democrats who be sending money to Pakistan for transgender studies? Huh? Or how about defending Ukraine's border? Yes, we hope that the United States will give us more money because that little midget with that tattoo voice, boss the plane, came over here begging for more money. And we sent it, all our weapons and stuff. So, Mark, whoever could you be referring to? Darn right.
Someone who understands that they are the president of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Not the president of the world, the president of the United States of America.
I know a man
Vladimir Putin
that used to be like that.
Puts Russia first.
Yeah.
The president of China puts China first.
Right, he should.
The man in Brazil puts Brazil first.
As he should.
The man in our office puts ice cream first.
Chocolate. Look at that. He looks like a nasty slime ball.
Today, America needs a...
Y'all see that nasty slime ball? Ugh. I want to pick that ice cream cone, stuck it right to his nose. There you go. Now you look like the clown that you are. Now beat it. So now whoever could he be talking about, y'all? I think I remember a man in my time that had that same like approach and belief. Was it treat, something with it? It starts with a T.
A fighter indeed. This nation needs a fighter. Yeah. Someone who is willing to go onto the world stage, walk in boldly, strongly, waving the American flag, saying...
So could you be talking about Nikki Haley? Huh? What about the fat dude from New Jersey? Yeah, somebody like that you're thinking? Huh? Who could you be talking about, Mark?
The Americans are here, and we are in charge again. And we're going to lead this world into the future with freedom. That's what America needs, and that is why on this stage today I am endorsing Donald J. Trump as the President of the United States of America in 2024.
Oh, snap! I didn't see that coming. So, guys, and the crowd goes wild. Donald J. Trump. That's right. You know why? Because he's been tested. He's been proven. See, I don't know what all the rest of these folks would do. I do know what he'll do. And I also know the threat that he is to these folks' power. Everybody. You think China want to see him back in? Honestly, I think Russia probably would like to see him back in because they know that he ain't on all of that crap that the Democrats are on. But I know China don't want to see him back in. Iran don't want to see him back in. Yeah, they're like Joey Reid, talk a lot of trash, but they don't want no parts of Donald Trump coming back in. See, so we know the Democrats don't want him back in. George of the Jungle don't want him back in because Trump would disappear in 2020. Oh, we know that he got a lot of enemies, and that's why I know he's the guy. See, so now let's hear from Donald J. Trump himself.
Because it's America first to me. It's all about America first.
Because now, doggone it, is a time for warriors to stand up and get it done. No more of this soft talk.
No more of that soft talk?
This easy speak.
Yeah.
No more of it. It's time to put away the cigars and the pipes and the cross legs and the calm conversation. This nation is at war.
Woo! Mark, you getting me pumped up, man. Right now, I'm about to start doing some gashers, get in shape, some suicides. That's right. About to get back in shape, some pull-ups, push-ups. Thank you. My man right here is dropping it like it's hot. He's like, yeah, man, enough of patty cake, baker's pan. Enough of that, man. Enough of, well, we're just going to see how the system plays out and let that know. I need a whole bunch of radicals, just as radical in our party as these folks in the Democrat Party, willing to play by the rules, but push the rules all the way to the max when it comes down to going after these folks on that side and these people in the deep state. I don't want nobody talking about, well, I respect the institutions, we're going to let them stand. I think that will set a bad precedence. No. Use everything in the arsenal. Fire everything. That's what you should do. I need a whole bunch of Marjorie Taylors out there. I need a whole bunch of Jim Jordans. I need some Marks, people like him, Mark Robinson. I need people like that. Matt Gaetz. No more soft cores. No Lindsey Grahams, because I wish I was in that crowd, because I would have been like, man, we're not doing enough. Somebody go and get me a megaphone. Bring in some concert speakers so I can go ahead and go, boo! Get him the heck out of there. So Mark realized how serious this is, because if we don't win in 2024, it's over.
And we need a warrior at the helm.
Darn right.
That's why I'm endorsing him right now on this stage.
Tell him, Mark. Here he is. Here he is.
It's time for all of us to remember that we are one people with one great American destiny.
What? You mean to tell me we're not busted up amongst all these small little groups that the Democrats put us in? The trans community, we got the feminist community, we got blacks, we got Latinos, we got all of these. You're telling me that that's not what you're here to promote? Because that's what they've been saying about you, Trump. Yeah, they say your policies are just designed for the upper class white man, even though all the black folks and other minorities benefited off of it. Even though all of that. See, but we're supposed to overlook that because of something about some racism or something, I don't know. So let's finish hearing this speech that I'm sure that Joy Reid and all them would say it's a dog whistle. He's isolating folks. He's separating us.
And that whether we are black or brown or white, we all bleed the same red blood of patriots.
No, I thought white people bleed white blood. See, I thought Trump, what you talking about, man? Oh, yes. Yeah. What you talking about, Trump, man? We didn't vote you in to be talking about we got blood that bleeds the same color as the blacks and the Latinos and the Aborigines and the Hittites and the Jebusites and all of that stuff, man. We bleed pure white as snow blood, man. Along with our white Bible and our snow white blonde-haired blue-eyed Jesus. What you talking about, Trump, man? We ain't vote you in to be catered for all these folk like that, man. That's right. To be right, you got to be white. Now, God bless you, only if you're white. I thought that's what you would say, Trump, because obviously all of the white nationalists support you. And here you are talking about black and Asians and all that stuff. That's crazy.
And we all share the same glorious freedoms of our magnificent country.
Wow. Isn't that crazy? Because, see, if you leave it up to the liberals in power, they'll take away conservatives' freedoms. They'll make sure we don't enjoy Second Amendment, First Amendment, and stuff like that. But they will unleash their supporters to say whatever they want to say, do whatever they want to do to us until they betray them. Then they'll get thrown in the same category as us. See, but what Trump is saying is that even though we got a lot of dumb folks in America who will vote against their own self-interest, we got to protect them from their own stupidity. We got to respect the law that covers us and them, even if they are stupid, running around talking about white nationalism, racism, and all of that stuff. All of that, we still will protect that, but they wouldn't. And that's why this next election is that important. Because see, if we are in power, we're going to protect folks who are ignorant as can be. Let them get in power and see what they do. I hear you, Trump. Go ahead.
We are all made by the same Almighty God.
What? Ooh, you ain't allowed to say God. I think, right? That's what that you think. Do you think you would hear that in a Democrat rally? They would be like, amen and a woman. And she created us all equal. That's what they would do.
As long as we remember these truths, we will not fail. We will never fail. We are Americans, and the future belongs to us. The future belongs to all of you. So with hope in our souls and patriotism in our hearts, I say these words to you tonight on 100 days of devotion, hard work, and love for our great country. Together, we will make America strong again.
Okay.
We will make America wealthy again.
Now I'm waiting for him to say, we're going to make America white again. That's what we going to do. Take us right back to slavery, man. I'm waiting for him to say that, right? That's what he's going to say, I'm sure. Because if you turn on the fake news, they'll probably take this speech, might even dub in a voice over his, going to make America white again. Did he say that? I don't remember him saying that. So you can't trust them. But let's hear what he is saying he's going to do for America, because every American should be okay with this.
We will make America prosper again.
Yeah.
We will make America proud again.
Oh.
We will make America safe again.
Whoa.
And we will make America great again. Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you,
I
Trump.
remember Hillary Clinton once said in a debate in 2016 that if Donald Trump became president of the United States, we would be on the precipice of World War III. Well, that never happened.
Oh, it didn't? Wait a minute. I thought we went to war because Trump was supposed to blow us all up as soon as he got in office. Now, you see the softcore sellout milk dud head over there? That's the same dude that Marjorie Taylor Greene said is acting aggressive, which we saw the clips. He talks to everybody like Mr. T. Would you say fool? I pity the fool. That's how he acts. But, he was saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene was putting his life in danger and all that stuff. Now he's sitting up there with a real smart black man. Let's see how he responds to this statement.
As a matter of fact, the world got a lot safer. If anybody's got us on the precipice, it's Joe Biden. So if you ask me a decision between Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, what I'm looking for is somebody who can come in day one and get America back on track. Donald Trump has done it once. He can do it again. And I would ask all Americans, you have President Trump, you have President Biden. They both done the job. The question is, who did it better?
What? That's an easy answer. I know that one, teacher. I know that one. Ooh, 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 ooh. It was Donald Trump for all the idiots.
We know the answer now. It's time to talk to our neighbors. It's time to talk to our friends. It's time to tell our families the good story about what conservatism does. It's time to remind them of the good days under President Donald Trump.
For the good times.
You know, President Donald Trump, the one that CNN and ABC and the rest of all these lying news agencies. Don't get me started. I ain't got the 3 minutes. I can go 3 days talking about how pitiful the news media is.
Ooh, Mark, I love you, man. I love it. I could go 3 months talking about how pitiful they are. That's how horrible the fake news is, which we heard throughout my show tonight, including Joyless Reed. Dang on it.
So let me say this to the news media. I'm going to tell you this once, and I've already told you before.
Go on, Mark.
I'm not scared of the news media. And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Last time I shook in my shoes
Yeah.
was the last time my mama or daddy took their belt off for me. And that was a long time ago. There's only one that can take their belt off on me, and he sits high and he looks low. He is the ruler of this world, and it is not ABC, CBS, or NBC.
Man, you talking my language right there, brother. You right about that. Because if you black, you know something about getting swatted on your back side. That's right. You ain't gonna do me worse than my mama used to do me when I used to act up. Oh yeah, man. Mom would get that belt out and go to work and give me some sugar right after. Now go outside and play. Mama love you. That's why I had to do that to you. Really? Yes. Okay, I guess I'll understand it later in life. Yeah. So that man right there is fearless. See, and we got too many softcore conservative politicians that are afraid of bad press, afraid of the media, afraid to take a stance that is actually more popular than they might assume. So they get spooked. Throw a mic in their face. How you feel about transgender athletes? There's a lot of science out there. Things are still open, but I do. No. I think that's crazy. That's all I need you to say. I think that's crazy. There's no reason why a man should be getting in there and beating up on a woman. Next question. And we'll respect you for that. Finish up, Mark. Here we go.
Those agencies don't have the answers because they don't even know what the question is.
That's right, Mark.
So I don't fear them. If anything, I stand firm. And when they get mad, I know I'm doing it right.
Woo-wee. That's right. Shut the door, keep out the devil. That's why I support Trump. See, you always got to look at what forces are going against the person or the movement or whatever. If there are dark forces that are attacking someone or something, then you can best believe that that one thing is the threat. There you have it. So just like that, the fake news and all of them are attacking Trump. That means he's our guy. Let's continue.
Call me crazy. Like those of us who believe in the Almighty. We're seeing his works in our lives. We're seeing his works in this nation. And know that through his wisdom through his strength and through his divine intervention, which we pray for continuously on a daily basis.
That's right, Mark.
And this nation, no, I will not stop. This nation will survive. This nation will move forward. This nation will be what God wants it to be. And the people in it who want to destroy it, I send you a message today. There are warriors in your path, and you will have to defeat us to take this nation down, because we are here, we are ready, we are willing to fight, because what God has blessed us with will not go easily into the night.
Woo, that's why I had to go put on my special patriotic hat right here, my macho man Randy Savage hat. That's right, brother. We won't go patiently into the night. That's right. Now get over here, Elizabeth, right now. That's right, Mark. Go ahead and close it out. Because what happens if we just tap out? That's what my question is. Or should we let them break it? That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to break it.
You'll have to do it over our dead bodies. So let's stand together. Let's fight together. Let's save America together. And let's save every state in this nation and the people along with it. God bless you. God bless this Washington, D.C. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. That speech right there. So y'all hear that? We will not go quietly into the night. And that's what they want us to do. That's what all of the persecution, the attacks, the abuse of power is designed to do. Is to silence us and to make us shut our mouths and tiptoe out like you're in church and go, excuse me, let me scoot out here. I don't want to be thrown into the category of a white nationalist or xenophobe or a racist. And I don't want to be on an FBI list of people who are radical and all that. I want my car keyed by politicians. I don't want that. See, that's all designed to make you tap out, either directly or indirectly by association. You're not one of them Trump voters, are you? No. See, that's what it's designed. All the harassment towards Trump is designed to make him tap out. Say it ain't worth it, man. My family has been persecuted, friends persecuted. I've lost money. You think he's doing this for fun? You think that's what he is? He's doing it for fun? Yeah. People are so stupid, man. Trump only ran to get rich. I'm like, what are you talking about? Have you not seen the crap that he had to put up with? Have you not seen all the losses that came with this? This man used to be loved. Now everybody hates him that aren't smart. But I love him. And I love what Mark just said. And I'm excited. That encouraged me, y'all. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. If you want to support the channel, you want to support what I do, You can always do that through my Cash App, my PayPal. The links are below the videos. It is greatly appreciated and it's greatly needed because YouTube's back to playing silly games again. They were monetizing my live shows, but for some reason, they're giving me more and more resistance. But I understand, see. You know why? Because if they weren't, that means I'm sorry. You see what I'm saying? See, and I don't want to be sorry. I want the enemy to recognize when I get on the internet. Like, oh, man. Yeah, it's like a Christian. You wake up in the morning, you want all the demons to go, again? That dude is up? I wish he would have died in his sleep, choked on a chicken bone. Oh. See, but if they don't recognize you, if you're not getting persecuted, then well, maybe you ain't kicking up enough dust. So we got to stick together. Thanks for supporting my channel and supporting me through those means. And it just doesn't come through that. I mean, your support comes in all types of ways. And I'm going to introduce a code for you to text to that will bypass the notifications for YouTube to where I can directly respond. Trust me, I ain't gonna be sending y'all crazy stuff. It's just a interface. But that right there will allow me to communicate directly to all of the subscribers so that y'all would know when a video is uploaded or when I go live. Okay, so that will be coming very, very soon. I might go ahead and work on that tonight if I can deal with my dad. I hear my brother, he's going through it out there. See, he's only here for 2 hours and he's going through. So imagine, you know, me, 24 hours, man. That's it. It is what it is, you know, but he's my old man. So it's a light affliction. So God bless y'all. God bless America. And we'll see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Let's bounce, y'all. After hearing that from Mark, I feel a little bit rejuvenated. Yeah. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.